God, don't do that. What the fuck are you doing? Get away from my car.
This is a classic example of why it is important for parents to let their boys know that it's okay to like boys, even if you also like girls. Because if you don't let them know it's okay to dry hump another dude, they will potentially try and dry hump car mirrors, even if it has to be under the cover of racism. Also, you've done a pretty shitty job with your kid if he thinks that racism is a good way to cover up sexual frustration. Yeah, these three guys, Reddit says they're hockey players. I'm not going to do a deep dive and I don't want to dox anybody, but I do want to talk about it. These idiots have already received more than enough hate to either make them realize that they need to stop being huge shitheads or they're going to run for conservative political office. Who knows? Now, a lot of people will look at this behavior in this video where these three guys harass, I believe it's an Indian couple, and they'll just chalk it up to racism and poor impulse control and more racism, as well as poor examples set by their parents and their community. And that's all a factor. And sure, it's not uncommon for racism to mix its way into someone's sexual drive, causing this sort of acting out. But I have another take because I went to Bible college and I lived in dorm. What I believe, I can't prove, but I strongly suspect, is some of or all of these young men are bisexual and not dealing with it well. You see, while queer acceptance has spread pretty far in some circles, to the point where so many of my female friends who are married to men have felt more than comfortable telling me in private, you know, I think I could have been just as happy with a woman. The stigma around bisexuality in women, at least in progressive spaces, is pretty low compared to how it used to be. For men, though, generally the only time that I end up finding out that any of my guy friends are bisexual is after knowing them for years, and often because they get really tired of me saying, well, as a gay guy, I know this. And then eventually they just get so fed up and they're like, I'm actually bi. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then we talk about cute boys. It's pretty rare that I meet a guy in day to day life who is just openly bisexual because they get so much stigmatization from straight women, straight men, and from the gays. It's odd, but for some reason, for so many people, as soon as they find out that a man is bisexual, him being honest about that causes them to think he's somehow inherently untrustworthy. So, bisexual guys often stay in the closet for their entire lives, or at least 20 to 40 years into a marriage. And the lack of acceptance often means that these guys can only explore that part of who they are when they're acting out. For them, heteronormative behavior is seen as being a good boy, whereas bro jobs are naughty. These three, they're being naughty.